Hello. I'm very well, and you? Hi, Brisson. How are you? The cards are really cold. Here it's freezing again, guys. It's very cold. So if you see me, hyperbati, you see me frown a lot, it's because I'm cold. And the cards are cold as well. Hi, Mariska. Oh, it's midnight for you, Brisson. What time is it in your where you are? Because here it's 10 a.m. Oh, PM. Cards are really cold. Ah, okay. So we have like almost 12 hours of difference. Mm. Hey, Muffy. Hi, Achara. It's very like your time zone is very similar to Korean time zone because I know that Korea and Argentina have like 12 hours of difference. So in our case, I believe it's like 11 if I'm not counting wrong because I suck at numbers. So maybe if I'm mistaken. It's really cold here, guys. So I'm going to drink mate because it's really cold. So how are you guys? Any news this week? Sorry, my face is all swollen. It's just that I have no makeup on. So if you notice that my face is a bit like sleepy, it's because I am sleepy. So I work a long hour shift last night, guys. So yeah. Really, Parvati? Oh my, what was his post about? Oh my god, I didn't know about that. And I scrolled through Twitter a bit. Hey Samara, good morning. Really? A bunch of men on a beach sunset. Wow. So definitely he keeps like, um, hi Lal, good morning. Good to see you too. He posted the movie from Top Gun. Oh. Because remember that the last time he posted, uh, there was like a sea, like a lot of water. And now I believe you said it's like a beach. So, a lot of like water related posts. I don't know if in the new post you can see water, but today some town concert was happening in Tokyo. Oh my. The Loomis were crying when they saw the post. Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure, Prisan. I would be crying. And I'm not a Loomis. Like, I'm not a Lucas fan, but it has been a long hiatus. A long hiatus. So, you know, you tend to get a bit emotional about not knowing much and a bit frustrated as well. So, you know, I did talk about this in the last live that we did. You know that I am a Joby, the voice fan. So when I didn't know anything about Eric, and I talked about it, how frustrated I was that the company didn't say anything. They didn't give like a clear update about what's going on with Eric. And this last week, we had like Mark Twain's dad posted a picture because it was his birthday, it was Mark's birthday, and Eric was there. And it was also Mark's listening party. So he and Eric was in the picture with Mark and Mark's parents, and his dad was very kind to post the picture where Eric was in. So a lot of Jobbies were really happy that we get to see that actually Eric is alive, and that yes, he's in LA, and that he's okay. So I'm sure that the fans, Lucas fans, feel a bit more intensely about this, not being able to see him or to get some news, to get, like for example, in the case of Eric, I don't want to know details about what he's doing, who he hangs out with, but I think that you get a sort of like you calm yourself down when you see them interact or when you see them coming out somewhere. You know that they are okay, you know that they are like walking, like eating, and that's a lot, actually, for a fan. That's very meaningful. Like, get a picture when you're like, oh, that's the member that we don't know nothing about, that we had been for months waiting for something, some news, and nothing happens. A lot of citizens are pissed with how tour schedules are planned for NCT 127. Yes, Jackson was also there. Yes, Jackson was also there. They only have two stops in US, and also the Manila concert announcement was a bit late. Oh, no, no, no. No, Marushka. Jackson was at Mark Twain's birthday celebration and also listening party. He was there. Also, was the boys Eric, and they were like sitting in the same table. And when Jackson was spotted there talking to Mark on the side, Sam Jovis recognized Eric, and that was the fast that was all about. Of course, a lot of people, actually, probably the fans, the Agassiz and God Seven fans, that were excited to see Mark and Jackson hanging out. But we, that sometimes we um, are like multi-stands, we saw Eric, or Sam Jovi recognized Eric, and they were like showing these videos on repeat. But then when Mark's dad posted that picture, when you can clearly see Eric, like you're like, we were like, oh my, it's so emotional, because it's not that we think that something is wrong with Eric. It's just that you get a bit nervous, because you're like, what's going on? Why hasn't he come back yet? Like, why don't we know what's going on or the reason behind all this? So at least we know that he is well, that he's resting, that he's well, and that probably that health issue that he has is not impeding him to actually go out and do like a recreation, or get, hanging out with people and have fun, or just to chill and relax. Okay. Oh, it was his dad's. It wasn't Mark's. Because I know that Mark is a Virgo, so I thought that it was his birthday. But yeah, maybe I'm mistaken. Yes. His first solo album. Yes. SM is coming out with a new girl group, also NCT 140, aka NCT Japan, NCT Hollywood. Oh, that name. NCT Hollywood. Why? 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 Like, why that name? I don't know. Mm-hmm. Another reminder that no one wants that group. Hello, Spirit. I'm waiting for a train wreck. NCT Hollywood. Thank you, Elam. Sorry, guys, if I look distracted. It's just that I'm looking at my cat, one of my cats, because she wants to get out. And I close the windows, and she is like looking for a way to get out. Hello, Eva. SM has it crazy ideas on how not to make enough money. Hi Abby. SM it's, I swear guys. SM is, I don't know. KBS official is being investigated for manipulating scores of hype new girl group. They really shouldn't have messed up with the throat singer. Oh, wow, Spirit. You mean like manipulating scores so that this new girl group, is it you're talking about New Jeans, that for them to get an award, like the first place? Like maybe the rumors are a cover up, but I mean I don't know. Oh, Les Seraphim. Ah, won against that trot singer. Oh, thank you, Ella. I'm glad that you resonate with the message. Thank you. Oh, Les Seraphim. Yeah, it's just that I believe that the same thing happened with the with the boys, that like I mentioned a moments ago, I am a DOB, so I don't go on Twitter that often, but I go on Twitter and I have some DOBs, and I read their post, and they were complaining because they wanted the guys to win with this new song that they released that is called Whisper. And of course that I believe that it was M Show or M Countdown, where they competed with Blackpink, Pink Venom. So they didn't win, of course, because it's Blackpink. Like, it's like the equivalence of BTS but female version. So you know that if you are against Blackpink, I would assume, like, I would want them to win, but Blackpink is Blackpink. They didn't win it, so they were like, the fans were very upset, like really, like, I don't know, maybe they thought that they would win. I don't know. They definitely tried, to vote and stuff. And then I believe that in another award show they did won number one. Sorry, my cat eats. Sorry, guys. She dropped something. So they did won an award, and that award they wanted to, because they were competing against New Jeans. So of course that they were going to win it. I mean, like, I was hoping that they would win it, because even though I did like New Jeans song, because I find it very refreshing. Well, the boys also have a history. I mean, so yeah, I was happy that they won it, actually. But the fans really worked really hard to get it, actually. Yes. Also, they're getting backlash for giving adult lyrics to their underage group New Jeans. Oh, yes, Beta. How are you? Oh no, I didn't check it out, Parvati. Mm, yeah. Hola, Miss Lluvia. The hype issue was actually obvious because Lim Yang-woon is a legend in K-pop industry. He has the whole Korea on his back. Even BTS and EXO lost against him, so it's impossible for a rookie. Exactly, for a rookie to win. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wait a minute, guys. I'm going to open the door for my cat because she's annoying. Sorry, guys. I got a blanket on because it's really cold here. Really cold. Yeah, she is so nervous. She's a very hyperactive cat. She's very different from my white cat that is the oldest. Her name is Luna. Luna is very chill. Luna is sleeping. She's next to the heater. She is like taking a very early nap. But my other cat, the black one, she's so wild. She's so wild. And when she gets bored or when she doesn't get what she wants, she starts like causing chaos or breaking something. So you have to watch out for her. I thought Music Bank results were manipulated all the time. Yes, it seems. Mm-hmm. Really? Really, Eva? New Jeans today win against One Blink? Oh my god, that's not possible. Which idols are involved in dating rumors right now? Is anyone from Stray Kids there? I don't know, Abby. I don't know about actually I named my live idols dating rumors just to talk as a subject to discuss, to talk about it, to talk about what's the appealing behind a dating rumor, and why people are so obsessed about dating rumors. Sometimes they are fabricated and they are not true. Some of them are true, but I won't be able to tell you. And it's not like it's not something I'm interested in, but I think that it would be a good topic of discussion. Um, they are manipulated, but people pick and choose when to be mad about it. Let's be honest. Ageist, especially against women. Jenny A. Leo left the group. He was the guy who wrote Miss. Oh wow! Did we have 80s in dating rumor? Willian, especially if it's okay. Hmm? Yeah, I don't think that. I think that some people don't understand that actually when I named alive a certain subject, it doesn't mean that I'm going to like pull cards for dating rumors. It means that we are going to discuss like the whole phenomenon of rumors in general. Especially I name it idols dating rumors because it's what people are interested the most. But we usually hear discuss about this. It's not that I pull cards to gossip who if this rumor is true or if this is dating the other. But I understand what you mean about ideals or ideal partner, romantic partner. I have done those readings in my channel, and I will probably do an update very soon. So yeah, look forward to that. Oh, Vanessa, I didn't even know how I didn't know what to say. The woman made up rumors about her dating Shonu some time back, and I was furious. Like this would be so bad, especially during his service. Really, 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 Spirit. When was this? People really tried to build up. Not feeling bad for the living K-pop fans are a trip. Yeah, the girl wanted attention so bad we were met. It's just that that's what I think about dating rumors. Sometimes when I'm like maybe this is not true, especially you know because I don't know, maybe I am a very reserved person that I don't share much about who I date or who I don't date. So imagine if I lived in South Korea or if you guys lived in South Korea. Like if I were dating an idol, whoever it is, like whether it lasts 5 minutes or 6 months, whatever. Like if that relationship is over or is it is in the past, like I would just move on, just like I do in every relationships. Like, you know, I don't understand the need of these certain people to reveal details about a past, probably I don't know, past experience. Generally it's past experience of dating someone famous. Like, yes, I get it, it's a famous person, you dated a famous person, and you maybe hold a grudge because you have to see that person on ads and on TV and on media all the time, and maybe you get like a bit frustrated. Like I know I would be frustrated to see my ex face everywhere, but like I don't know, maybe my mindset is very different. Like for me it would be like if I really was dating a famous person, I would be done with that person. If that person is like, I mean, and whatever happened between us is just between us. Like I don't get the thrill between like sharing intimate details, or oh, because I felt like he didn't respect me or he didn't, like, I don't know, like when you decide to start a connection with someone, it's a 50-50 decision. So I don't understand. Sometimes I doubt these people that are like, oh yes, I had this experience with this famous person. Well, okay, yes, I'm sure it was disappointed. Sometimes dating is very disappointing, and you maybe are dating a regular guy that is broke. But I just don't understand like the purpose behind revealing details of something that didn't work. So like, and you're not famous, so I don't understand. Like if you don't want anything to do with that person, why would you talk about that person? I don't understand. They were clearly Photoshop. It was too obvious they did a crappy job. Yes, best I actually believe the car one. I still think it's a cover up for KBS and New Jeans issues because the KBS articles came on the same day as the photo. Ah, yes, publicity is publicity after all. This is idols can't dating freely because of the fandoms. And if I were an idol, guys, honestly, think about it. If we were idols, like, you know, it's your job. So you have to be very professional and very skillful to cover it. So unless you want it to be known, I don't know. I think that they must have their ways to cover things so people wouldn't like find out. Actually, I'm the type, I think few of the members are dating someone, but I don't know who. Oh, yes, Ilal. Mm. Actually, I'm the type who doesn't want anything to do with the person, want things end. Exactly. So I know I wouldn't care enough to talk about them anymore. Exactly. That's what I think. I feel the same spirit. Like I understand that probably since he's a famous person, you are like, no, because I want people to know how he is. But we all have different like aspects of our persona, of ourselves. We don't behave the same in a relationship, when we are in a friendship, when we are with our coworkers, when we are in the public. Like we have different side of us that we show in intimacy and that we show in public. So of course that if you tell me that, I don't know, this famous person cheated on you, and this famous person probably plays the role of the good guy, of course that is going to ruin his or her reputation, because somehow what he's showing you while he's at work is a role, and it's of course that you cannot expect that person to be like that in real life. But some people like to sometimes be like, oh, but we know him or her, like we know that they are this way, it's impossible that he behaves so cruelly. And you don't know, because like I always tell you, sometimes we are the bad guys in someone's personal history and we don't know about it. We think that we done well, and maybe for the other person we were awful. So it's perspective. It's perspective. The fans are going to always like cherish their idols. Probably if you ask a family member, they are going to see him, yeah, he is part of our family, he's my brother, he's my son, I love him, but that's it. But the idol role it's something like, I don't know, it's done in a way that almost seems like a god or goddess that can nothing do anything wrong. Just look at Jay Park, how he stays still relevant for the culture part. He keeps doing it again and again. But Isa, do you think if idol was toxic or abusive in the relationship, should the person expose him? It's just that, I don't know, I dated toxic people, and I had the possibility to actually like sort of like tell their new partner or their new girlfriend about my experience. But that person wouldn't listen to me because she was in the first stages of falling in love with him. So, um, and she wouldn't take it from me because I was an ex. So what I'm saying is that despite of him being abusive or toxic, sometimes people don't want to hear those things, or they want to experiencing it themselves. Because if you tell them or if you give them a heads up, they are not capable of getting the red flags because they have to experience it yourself. So, and when and I'm saying this from a perspective of a normal relationship, when it comes to an idol, like what do you consume of an idol? You consume music, content, entertainment. Like, I don't care what kind of partner they are because it's not part of their job. It's like what they do with their exes or with their current partner, their style of communication, their romantic style, if they're romantic or not, if they are expressive or not, if they are sensitive or not, that's something personal. That's something personal. like that's personal life. So I don't know. I think that that's like going too deep into something that we know that entertainment or public figures, public personas, we shouldn't go that deep with them. There are some boundaries, that you what you should know is what they're showing you on stage or in front of the camera. You shouldn't know like if they were a good boyfriend or girlfriend. Like that's not part of their work. So it sort of also is a distraction. It's as if, I don't know, I am great at my job. Everyone loves me at my job because I am the best and I got a promotion. And all of a sudden, an ex of mine comes to my workplace and starts talking bad about me and talking about how I was this and that and this and that and how he suffered because of me and how awful I was, and everyone in my workplace being like, "Oh my God." Like, of course you would listen, you would pay attention. But it's like, "Oh, we didn't know she was like this." And no, because you're not supposed to know. Here in my workplace, I am a different side. I do my task, I do my obligations and responsibilities and show up on time. So that's all you need to know about me. How I am in my intimacy with my loved ones is a different subject. So I don't know if I'm making sense, but I hope. Okay, Abby. News or receipt Rob. I've seen so many posts of how to Ukrainian classes. Oh wow. Do you think it's possible to? Oh my God. He's sort of a curious. Came out to be and Johnson was married with a kid. Maybe because his fans are more mature. Yeah, maybe exactly. It's nice for men to find to work just happy. Plus, he has a kid too. I think it's possible though, because sometimes there's idol dating normal, but yeah, the second gen idols should get married already because they keep normalizing to get married. Yeah, it's just that getting married, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't I mean I don't want to say I'm old, but I'm the same age as, I don't know, Super Junior members, and even sometimes I'm a bit older than some of them. And I'm not planning on getting married, and not because I don't believe in marriage. It's just that relationships, like I always tell you, relationships are complex, and sometimes you don't meet the right person. So I don't know. Hmm. I personally wouldn't want to date an idol. Not recommended. Seems like a necessary difficult life. Yes, and it's not just, oh guys, it's not just idols. It's like a celebrity. Is dating a celebrity. So I think that we should broad the gender, the like the um the aspect, because dating a celebrity is tough. Dating a celebrity definitely must be tough, and it must be a bit like confusing for the regular person, because we do not have even the level of stress that they have, because they are always like worried about the time or worried about opportunities. They want to make the most of the opportunities that they get. So sometimes they are too ambitious. Sometimes they get into different projects. Sometimes their projects don't work out. Well, the scandals and everything, since they do not have, they have very little privacy then nowadays. Um, so they are always on alert about, who they associate with, so yes, it's a stressful lifestyle, but at the same time, we regular people with our responsibilities and our challenges, we all have a different lifestyle. We all struggle. It's a different field, but we all struggle. Maybe what you should like take into consideration is that, I don't know, for example, we were mentioning stray kids. For example, in my case, my stray kids bias is Lino. Will I get I don't know, sexy Lino, sassy Lino, the same that I see him on MVs and on stage with the wardrobe and the makeup on and the eye contact, glasses, lenses, not glasses. Will I get that? Probably not. I will get the regular Lee Mino, the regular guy that probably is a bit more, much more immature than you think, and probably, I don't know how he is when it comes to relationships or how he is his like love language. Will I get the one that I see on the content and on online and in pictures? Probably not. I will get the real person, not the artist. The artist, the idol aspect is for the fans. Is for the fans to enjoy. I will not get that. I will get the real guy behind the idol, you know, without the makeup, without the hairstyle, without the tight pants and the sexy pose, I will get the real guy. And probably I will get the guy that is comes home very tired, very moody, um, very frustrated for a lot of things that happen in his line of work. Just like we all sometimes when we get off work, I did sometimes came after I came out of work, guys, and you noticed in my face that I was exhausted, that I was here. Yes, I turned on the camera and I was here with you and I was chatting and we were laughing and we found like a middle ground where I wanted to be present and connect with you, but I was exhausted. So I think that dating an idol is not that glamorous, and actually is not like you're going to date the guy that you see in pictures. Probably not. And not to mention, you have to share them with the fans. We need more idols like Sungyu. His friend's girlfriend, who is a Sinwa fan, told him that idols shouldn't date. And he was like, have you are yourself on a date and you are lecturing me not to date? Exactly. Exactly. After all, they are humans too. As expected from Taurus, his around can argue for love. Mm-hmm. Of course. Who are you? Who are you to be like? You're not supposed to be like this. Yes. Idols are marketed as ideal girlfriend boyfriend to fans. That's why fans tend to want to date them. But actually, it's their job to look and act like that. Doesn't mean they are like that in real life. Exactly, Ella. Exactly. Exactly. That's and we always discuss this. Like it's not a novelty actually. But I think that sometimes when you admire someone so much, or when you like what they do and how they perform, um, sometimes you do buy it and you do think that it's who they are, because you're like, oh no, but he did a blog last night or last week, and he showed us the fun, his house, how he is with his pets, how he is with his friends in real life, in real time. So they have that sort of like also strategy where they somehow show you through these videos, these blogs that they record, and they make you feel like you are part. That they show you around, they show you their family, and you're like, oh, they are inviting me into their everyday life. And actually, like I always tell you guys, the mood is perfect, the atmosphere is perfect, we definitely feel a connection with them. But remember, as long as the camera is on, whatever camera you prefer, whatever a camera is on, they will not be themselves. They will not be themselves, and they know it. They know it. They show their brightest self. Like, do you think that if I would record a vlog and I would be like this, and I would be like this, would you enjoy watching it? No. You have to put an attitude. You do have to, and probably when they record, we don't know what the things that they record. They are so edited that we don't know probably of the bloopers that happened or the mistakes that went through the recording. We will never know it because they edit it. I wish I would reveal their relationship. Frankly, I would like to know about AT's relationship because I want to be with them in their happiness and sadness. But now it feels like he can be with them because everything is hidden. Recently, there was a music show staff who said Monsta X members are currently single. You should have seen how this fandom was so disappointed, like, oh, these guys are hopeless. Yeah, but single doesn't mean that they don't know people. So probably they are active in certain aspects, but they are not in a relationship. Yes. YouTube bloggers, exactly, Eva. I wouldn't say it's scripted because it's not scripted, but of course that when you record something, you have to give it a sort of timeline. You cannot just turn on the camera and be like, okay, here I am. No, there has to be a sort of engagement. Like it has to be fun or it has to be inspiring. So there's a lot of work between that. I mean, they wouldn't tell the staff anyway, so I'm like, guys, chill. They just said currently. Recently, the boy Sonu got in another scandal. Poor man can't catch a break. What happened to Sonu, Bita? What scandal? What scandal was that, Bita? Why would they go around telling people their business, especially after all they're being through? Exactly. Exactly, guys. Yeah, and the same happens at the workplace. At the workplace, like this, always all the time this happens. You have coworkers that you have to talk to them, because you are there with them a lot of hours. So sometimes the subject comes out, like, oh, are you dating? Who are you dating? Are you seeing someone? Who is that person? Tell me about that person. Tell me about your last boyfriend. Tell me about your experience. And sometimes you want to talk about these things because it's a way. is a very interesting subject, and you feel if you feel comfortable with that coworker, you probably start talking about your experiences. But sometimes there are people that they love to gossip. So you have to be very careful, especially if you are interested in someone at work, that you shouldn't be like talking very freely about, oh, I like, I don't know, this person from this sector, or that he or she works there, because rumors run really fast. So I believe that probably staff, music shows, backstage, everyone, there's like a lot of ears, a lot of ears, a lot of listening, a lot of gossiping. So you have to maintain your ways, and I think that it's not just so the fans won't fan out. It's more about the other groups or the other managements or the random people working there finding out. Because if they got, this is very Moon in Scorpio of me, but the more information they have of you, the more they can use it against you. So, that's why we morning Scorpio people, sometimes there are a lot of idols that have Moon in Scorpio. And there are a lot of idols that have Scorpio placements. Because somehow, to work and to survive into that industry, you do have to be very smart and you have to be very mysterious. And not mysterious in the sense of, oh, I'm plotting something. No, and more like intelligent in the sense of, like, okay, this person wants to get information out of me, so I have to watch out. I have to watch out what I say and how I say it. And if I have an opinion about someone, whether it's positive or negative, I would keep it to myself, no matter how many times I've been asked about this. I have to be reserved. I have to be on guard. I have to be intelligent. Because if I'm too relaxed and if I'm too honest, probably I will lose my career because of rumors or because of people misinterpreting my way of saying things. The walls have ear, exactly. It's just that I don't think it's being shy, spirit. I think that it's being cautious. Sometimes when I talk about with people that I know just recently, I'm like, oh yes, I had been in a relationship, but it was a long time ago, and I give details every little very, but very casually. And they are like, oh, are you seeing someone right now? Oh yeah, I'm seeing someone, but it's nothing serious. So, I don't give names, I don't show pictures, I don't tell you, oh, he works there and does this. No. I end the like the conversation there, you know. And actually, sometimes people that ask you, they really don't want to know. They sometimes want to like rant about their own personal issues. So maybe they ask you about relationships because they somehow are struggling with one in their current life. So, and then there are some idols who probably really want to be open about it and they can't because of the companies and fans. Yes, it's hard because you actually learn to be private. It's not something that you are like, for example, like I am a Scorpio moon, but I had been like really expressive and open about my opinions and my feelings and my personal experiences. But as I grew older, I realized that there are some people that really don't need to know that much about you because they just use it to somehow like to talk about you, to gossip about you, and to actually like form an idea or a theory about who you are. And they don't really know you because I mean, you can be an awesome person, you can be really a great person, but have like bad experiences in love and relationships. So a relationship doesn't define you. You know, you actually learn grow a lot because of relationships, but you know, it doesn't define you unless you are a Libra. If you're a Libra, probably relationships define you. Yeah, the same happens to me. It's so simple for some people to discuss while I'm thinking, why do you want to know? They probably want to know because they want you to ask them for themselves, or I mean, in how they are doing themselves. So they bring the subject. How are you, Scorpio Moon, doing therapy then? We go in therapy, but it takes a lot of time to actually open up. A lot of time. A lot of time. I didn't realize how frequent Scorpio moons in idols and even actors are. Yeah, a lot, Beta. A lot. I like how KQ doesn't have a dating ban for them because I believe it prepares the fans' minds for when a rumor or they announce that they are dating. It won't come out as a surprise to them. Exactly. Q didn't have one either, but look what they did. I don't trust companies. Yeah, but sometimes the word like the words dating ban, it's a bit restrictive, so it's good that they don't have it. Yeah, it's just that it's part of the job, guys. It's part of the jobs. It's part of the job. It's the same. You know, I always put the example of me working as a salesperson. Like, you know, sometimes when I used to sell things or I used to sell services, you know, I had guys like flirting with me or trying to hit on me, you know, and I would have to be pleasant. Of course, I wouldn't flirt back, but I had to be pleasant with them, you know. And of course, that I didn't allow them to go further, but they were guys that they would leave their numbers or they would want to ask for my number. So I would always find a way to be polite and be like, you know, like letting them know that yes, I'm talking to you because I'm trying to sell you something. But um sometimes it's very simple, like, you know, if they ask me if I'm married or something like that, I sometimes tend to avoid the question. And like, because I cannot tell them like, oh, like that's none of your business or whatever. I have to be nice, you know. And this is something that idols in the role, they also have to put on this acting, you know, like, okay, like you're not supposed to know or care, you know. You're just here for the experience. I'm selling you an experience, so please buy the experience and then let me go, you know, because we will we will not go there that deep, you know. My goal is for you to buy something from me. So yes, I'm very like avoidant in that sense, especially of very personal questions. KQ needs IT, so whether it comes out they're dating or not, the company isn't kicking them out. I'm a Libra with a non-existent love life. Well, you do have to work for that love life. You might be right about that. People love discussing the relationship with single people. Exactly. Exactly, Spirit. It's like, how, why you, I mean, like, why do you want me to tell you about my past experiences when you are currently living one? Like, but some people need others validation. They think that because I don't know, their experience was like this, maybe, you know, I should be like that too, or maybe I should compare situations, when actually relationships, this is why they are called personal, because they are personal. And the only thing that you should take into consideration is what's going on in that bond between you and the person that you are in a relationship with or in a connection with. The others can tell you a lot of things, but you know, the ones that matter is the people in the relationship. So this is why when someone accuses the other person of being abusive or violent or toxic, and we as spectators, we listen to that, we are like, oh, look what she said or he said that this person is toxic and that this person was an awful partner. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you're right, and I'm sure that that relationship was awful, but relationships, they have their own language and they have their own, like, dynamic. So you as an outsider will never know for sure what happened in that, because you weren't part of the relationship. And even if you were a third person, you weren't entirely a part of the relationship. You were brought into this bond because, I don't know, somehow they needed an escapism or something. But sometimes, especially when they talk to you about, oh, because, I don't know, the person that you're dating was really awful to me, and I'm like, yeah, but we people, sometimes we change, sometimes people don't change. But like I tell you, sometimes when we are so interested in someone, we are so stubborn and we are so blinded that we don't see it. We don't see the red flags until we experience it ourselves. And then we remember and we're like, oh, remembers, this person told me that he was or she was like this and this and this, and I didn't listen. And it's not that I didn't listen, I didn't want to listen because I was too invested in the bond, or I was too in love, or I was too young, or I was too of a fool, I don't know. But when emotions are involved in a relationship or in a connection, sometimes you do skip a few warning signs. And this is for any kind of relationships. Sometimes the people, the outsiders, see more about what's going on or about what's not okay, and the people that are involved don't see it. um so this is why when I tell you that, when it comes to accusations and stuff, like, I think that the people involved should, like, discuss this with themselves. For example, if I had a partner that treat me awfully and I feel like he owe me an apology or he owes me something, I don't know, talk about it with him, or a person, express it, like talk to it, and then, try to work it out in private. And then if that person actually doesn't listen to you, they don't acknowledge the damage that they have done, then let it go, because you have done your part. You were very brave enough to be like, okay, you hurt me. I want you to know that you hurt me. You broke my heart and you disappointed me. But if that person is so into themselves that they don't listen to it, they don't care, they already moved on, it's like, okay, you delivered the message. They didn't hear it. They didn't want anything to do about with that. Then you should move on too. Because sometimes that apology that you are looking for, or their acknowledgement from the other part, will never come. Will never come. So sometimes you do have to make the pieces with yourself about how hurtful a situation was. Because if you're expecting the other part to apologize, sometimes they never apologize for what they done wrong. And maybe some of them even think that you are the one that should apologize. So, it's very complex, guys. Yeah, but 80s is very professional. I don't think that there's no need for a dating ban because they are very professional. Like, I love Chan so much. Chen, not Chan, Chen. I love Chen. I'm glad that some citizens actually cheered for Chen. There were a lot of citizens in SM Town. The light sticks were of NCT citizens light stick were a lot. Like I can recognize the green light anywhere. There are a lot in KCON as well. Yes, only N citizens were cheering. That was so sad. I felt so sad for Jen. I felt so sad for Jen. And also for the fans, because international fans don't feel that way about Chen. So it's a shame that actually that the real fans, or probably the fans that are a bit more accepting or accept they have more acceptance, couldn't be there. It. So I think that if you watch it from afar, you're like, why would they do that to Chen? Like, if I was there, if I had the possibility, I would cheer for him with all my lungs. Like, and I'm not an exo. So, but I guess people are just too petty. Too petty. But, this is something that I also I mentioned in my other lives. Like, I think that some companies, like, enable this behavior. They do give the fans a sort of like right, oh, you bought this many albums, like, oh, you spent all this money on us, okay, you do have a say, you do have a sort of power, we rely on you, so we want you to be satisfied. So if you're not satisfied with Chen, yes, you can do all the the in, like making it hard for him, and we're not going to do anything to stop it, which is very unfortunate. uh I think that the fans sometimes they forget how many how many idols we lost because of them being very unhappy with themselves and them struggling a lot with their personal issues and with their personal circumstances of being an idol and how lonely it is to be an idol. So if you have a member of a group that, yes, he came out that he has family and wife, but he's happy, he's healthy, he's still singing, he's complete, he came out of the military service well, not like traumatized, he came out like a man, well, why can you not celebrate that? What do you expect out of Chen? Just you expect to see him like in despair, you expect to see him like broke on his knees. What do you want out of that poor human? And also not to mention that Chen it's very talented, and his voice is a treasure. So why can't people just stay with enjoying his voice, his performance, and the fact that we have him still on stage? But I don't know. People are really like awful. But like I always tell you, these kinds of behavior or these kind of actions talk more about, tell you more about who they are as people than actually about Chen, for example. This kind of childish and petty behavior speaks louder. They are letting you know what kind of people they are. So if you have like any doubts that there are people like this in the world, they are showing you that they exist. Because the not all the fandom feels the way, thank God. But these are the people that probably spends a lot of money to go in there to this event to do this kind of thing. Well, when we are here crying in our poor international not ability to watch it on screen. Chen is a great example of someone striving for quality of life and must be an inspiration for other idols, including from other companies. Yes. Like, how many losses do they want? The guy is still working. The guy is still active. What do they want out of him? I don't understand. I don't understand. Mm-hmm. Exactly, Hope. Exactly. So someone was mentioning this about, since we were talking about rumors, dating rumors. What's your opinion about the B and Jenny dating? Like, I also like watched a few TikToks of their suppose their pictures that were so bad edited. But what do you think? Do you think that is true? Do you think that there's something behind that? What's your opinion about that? Why B and why Jenny, for example? Why not Lisa, for example? Lisa, that she actually breathed the same air as B when they were at this Celine event. Why Jenny and B exactly? Why is it always Jenny and B? Cash cows. There's 100% YG and Hype sabotaging their own cash cows. Cows. Hmm. I think Hype is putting out fake rumors because BTS did not comply with something they wanted them to do. Mm. Mm. Hmm. Yes, Marushka. I believe I said something of that sort in my reading for BTS. I believe I mentioned something like that about a possible rumor that would come out because of something that they said no to, and somehow the company is a bit like, oh, did someone do it to Bobby too? No, Mariana, I don't think Iconics did. No, it's just that Iconic is really happy that Bobby has a family. But the thing, I think that probably Bobby got it easier because actually before it had happened, the Chen situation. So somehow the Chen was like this, the opening of a new situation that they didn't expect. So, and then Bobby came out, and of course that it has to do with the fandom as well, I believe. You know, um, I love EXOs. I know that EXOs, especially in international EXOs, they are all very supportive of Chen, and the Koreans too. But just like, for example, with BTS, you do have like, the very loving and very like positive armies, that they do a lot of good things for the world, for society, for their among each other. They're like a family. But then you have some armies that are very childish, and that they are the ones that actually create chaos on internet when they fight other fandoms. But there's this sort of like, um like this sort of push and pull, that the positive armies are like, we don't claim these people. Like, they say that they are armies, but we don't feel like they represent us or what we stand for. So I think that when it comes to exos, it's the same. Not all exos think this way about Chan. It's just that, unfortunately, it seems like these people that were so obsessed with getting Chen kicked out were also very obsessed with getting the place to be there when Chen was performing, to do what they did. So the hate that they carry within themselves is very. Hmm. No, it's not true. They keep having these rumors pop out because of Jenny and B's reputation. K-Nets don't like B. They think he has a bad attitude, and Jenny gets involved in scandals every 2 weeks. Yes, exactly. They are like, yes, I know. They want to talk bad about them because, you know, their attitude, supposedly. I don't think it is true, because the person who posted the photos was paid to do this. Someone messaged him in an email pretending to be a company, and that exposed him when he asked money. Oh, totally. I did watch Aphrodite's star readings on Blackpink and BTS. It's obvious the companies are doing something. Exactly, Parvati. I was going to actually share the link with you guys of Ant's reading about Blackpink, because I found it very interesting, in the sense that he did mention something about the comeback being sort of very rushed, this comeback, or this release that they had. And it reminded me of, remember when you used to ask me, like, in every live or in every situation that we get, you would ask me about Blackpink comeback, and I would always get swords or cards that represent swords element, and I would always reply to you. I would always ask you, are we sure we're having a comeback? Are we sure that we're having a comeback? Because I'm not seeing like action. I'm seeing a lot of discussions, because a lot of sources will come out, a lot of papers, ideas, like opinions, a lot of discussions, definitely a lot of discussions. But I actually didn't, for a while, I actually didn't get to see much like work, like actually like the girls working on that. Like I got a lot of sorts. So I would always ask you, like, are we sure we're having a comeback? Are we sure? And then you would be like, oh yes, it was confirmed. But for a while, at least from what I got for the cards, it was very confusing. Very confusing, because I only saw like a lot of discussions, a lot of opinions, a lot of like feedback, but not a lot of like, oh, this is a very enjoyable like creative process. No, actually a lot of opinions. So I kind of, when I watched Ant's reading about Blackpink, I was like, maybe this makes sense with what I was sensing back then, that this was rushed, actually, that this wasn't in the plans, but it was like, okay, we have this now, we have to do this now, like, I don't know. the intention is to show them in bad light, and is what YG and Hype trying to do. Right, I was attacking comments by immature armies under shiny videos and super mean, but no, they are not all toxic like exactly. Yes, yes. I don't know, Marushka, if there are exos here. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know much about exos. I mean, I know the girls that are here, they usually do follow SM artists, but I don't know if I have exos in my lives. I don't think. Ant's readings on both these groups are very accurate. Even 2 years ago, he did mention collab for Lisa that is so Snake. That it's DJ Snake collab. Yes, he also said something about B rumor months ago. It's just that it's very expected out of B. I think that we will hear a lot of things about B, about Taeyong. That I don't think is negative. And it's not negative at all. But I think that it's for me it's refreshing to actually hear about B because I know that he is not going to be apologetic about it. So, whatever thing happens in B lives, I'm going to support him 100% because he is very honest and he's also someone that he moves on. He knows his worth. He knows that he puts in the work when he has to. He knows his value as an artist and as an idol. He knows that he's a role model, so he has the right to enjoy his life and his free time in whatever he wants. I love B. I love him so much. He doesn't back down, and that's very admirable. Hello, Rin. Hey, Kuromi. I don't know. I don't know. I think I heard. Is it maybe because of Victory? Like this? Victory? Because I believe that he was like the last one or one of the last ones that he wasn't announced actually. Like he wasn't allowed announced in the trailer of their debut. So he was like a surprise member, the last one that was introduced. So I don't know. I believe it's because of Victory, like the Victory. Vincent Van Gogh. He loves Vincent Van Gogh. I believe that Vincent Van Gogh was also an Aries or a moon in Aries. I believe. I believe he was an Aries. Oh my god, guys! Even the stone is cold in my hand. Okay, guys. Look, I don't have papers to write down your request today. So, what we can do is that you can ask a few questions about idols, of course. And I'm going to pull a card, and please let's be organized in the comments so I don't miss some of you. But you can ask. And let's like better rephrase the like why you want to ask, in the sense that um in the sense that we shouldn't like, oh, pull a card for this member. No, we should, I want you to come out with a question, and I'm going to pull a card to answer that question. All right, so we change like the, you know, the way we ask. Not, oh, I want to know about this idol, you know, because we often pull cards for idols. Yes, we were talking about it. They mentioned, I'm going to go and look for it after I'm done. Yes, yes, Rim. Yes. Rim, did you get to see? Of course that you did. I'm sure you did. You saw the new NCT 127 trailer. It's, I'm sure it's going to be amazing. I seem to readings that Chemin will be that Chemin will have dating rumors in 2023 and get put in hiatus. But why? Like, why would Temin get a dating rumor? And why would he be? I believe that if he would be put in hiatus, it's because of something else. Because that guy needs a rest. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, count through. 1 to 7. I 1 to 3. Oh my. Okay. Let's. Do the cats have the heater? Yes, they do. Yes, they are. They have it. They have it. They are, you know, high maintenance cats. And, you know, it's really sunny outside, but they don't want to go outside. They just want to be near the heater. Okay, let's start. Oh, wait. Okay. Eva asked about Jenny and how she feels about the rumor. I think that we shouldn't like talk about how she feels about, because Jenny is a busy person. Like, I don't see her like you know, you know, like let's see what she thinks, because to feel is something more deep. It's very deep to feel something. It's more like what she thinks about the rumors around her or this rumor situation. What does she think about this? Not feel, because if you feel, it means that you are emotionally involved. And let's not go that deep to be like, oh, she feels a certain way. Okay, let's pull a card for Jenny and this rumor. Oh, well, she got 2 cards. I was going to pull 1, but she got 2. 8 of Swords, Page of Wands. So, what does she think about this situation? She's a bit fed up, to be honest. She's a bit fed up. And I think that the only way that she can actually get out of her mind and not being worried about this is doing something. So probably Jenny is in this, yes, in this very physical, demanding, exercising or performing, like very physical. She's doing a lot of activities that demand a lot of energy out of her, you know. So actually this is doing her really well, to actually being active and being on the move. We know that of course Jenny must exercise like daily and do a lot of activities. Like, it's not that she needs a comeback to move, like, actually no. But I think that it actually allows her to get out of this overthinking, and she's focused on, okay, what can I do when it comes to being creative and giving, like like doing something with this frustration of hearing all this talk. Like, I'm tired of all this talk. Of course that she hears everything, but she's like, no, you know, I'm busy. I have things to do, and I have a lot of things that I want to see grow. So, you know, I'm focusing on me and only me, and I'm doing the work. like I'm being passionate about something. She definitely is feeling very confident in herself. And she also is feeling like very fiery lately, very like in her in herself, like feeling really confident, very passionate. She is not like this anymore. She's not tied to what other people think of her. She's very proud of herself. And I believe that you are going to get a lot of more content out of Jenny, because I see her like working and studying and planning on something. She's going to release something individually as well. So she's busy, basically. She's busy and she's doing what she has to do, and she's feeling very, very passionate about this. She's feeling very passionate and very like proud of herself. So, it doesn't bother her. At first it bothers her, but like we always say, probably it bothers her that there are people talking about her still. It's like, oh, why always me? But now she's like making energy work. She's pulling them. She's making magic. So she's like, okay, I'm doing my thing. Like I have a lot of projects. I'm a busy woman. So get off my energy field. Okay. Please, guys, don't move so much the comments so I can read the next question. Since Lucas posted today, how is he feeling currently? I can ask how he's feeling currently, because about coming back soon, I don't want to touch that, because that is invasive about him coming back. We can ask about how he's feeling today. Two of Cups. Definitely, I believe that Lucas posted this picture. I have to go watch that picture because I don't know what that picture is about or that post is about. But probably he did it because he wants to maintain the connection with the fans. He wants the fans to know that the connection is still intact, in the sense that he's still intact. He wanted to connect with the fans in a sort of symbolic way, but for you to not forget about the connection and not to forget about him, that he is still invested and that he probably feels the same way as you do. It's just that probably in his situation he cannot like do much, but he wants the other part to know that there's a reciprocity here, that if you miss him, he misses you back. And if you love him, he loves you back. So there's like this post actually was like an act of love and reciprocity. For you to know that he loves you and that he doesn't forget that there are people that love him. So this is more like reaching out to the fans and being like, yeah, you think of me, I think about you too. So this is an act of love. It's very beautiful. It's very beautiful. It's for the fans. Okay, should we see a card for Chen? How is he feeling? Okay. For Chen, how is he feeling? Four of Pentacles. Let's bring the earth element in him. I think that Chen is still a bit on the defensive. You will probably see him a bit stiff, even in his body language and his posture. If you are going to be able to see it, probably you did see it, that he was a bit like, I wouldn't say he was uncomfortable, because he wasn't uncomfortable. But here with the Four of Swords, what is letting me know about what he's feeling that he has to endure, that he has to keep this posture of I'm not letting go of my career and I'm not letting go of what I love to do. I know it's not going to be easy, but I'm not going to change my posture. So even though we did feel like that moment was a bit uncomfortable, he will still continue to work. He will not disappear, he will not hide, he will not back down. He will keep stubbornly presenting himself when he has the chance, or when he has the chance to deliver music. He will continue working. Like, he will not lose his work, his value, what he has to offer. He will not give it away. He will not like quit. He will keep going. He's holding on really tight to his career and to everything that he had earned with that career. So if people actually want to make him feel a sort of guiltiness or make him feel guilty, they are not going to get anything out of him, because he is on this sort of like very stubbornly, like he is not like he's, oh, I'm so happy, like, but he's thinking about resources, and he's thinking about his job, and he's thinking about his money, because he does have a family to provide to. So he's doing it like in a sort of way, he's doing it because he needs the money, and he also needs the stability of his profession to keep providing for his family, because this is what he knows what to do. This is his profession, his work. You know, he is not that he doesn't have other talents. Of course, I'm not saying that he's just a singer, but he's saying that he's holding on really tight to his profession. And he's not, even though it's not the best scenario for him, he's not going to quit. He's going to keep going stubbornly until he gets the results that he wants. Ah, okay. Wait. A card for Lino? Someone asked me, Pink Lover asked me a card for Lino. Yes, he's like putting his whole energy to. It's just that it's his moment to actually be professional, not so emotional. This is why he got a Pentacles, because he is not thinking about, oh, like, oh, look what they're doing, or look, no, he's not taking things personally. He's watching everything from perspective of a professional. Like, what can I get of this situation? Like, how can I improve myself? You know, how can I create more income? You know, because he is, you know, he has a family to maintain, you know, guys, like we all do need money to survive. You know, he does need the money. You know, he does need a job. He does need his profession. And he does need to stay, like, to be consistent in his role as singer. So he's thinking about that, the practical side. He doesn't have time to feel right now. He just wants to keep going, because he's like, okay, I have to make it. I have to make it. I don't care. I don't care. I have to make it. He's focused. Okay, one card for Lino. Three of Pentacles. You know that I did pull a card the other day for Lino, and I said that there was possibly a lot of more opportunities to come for him to keep working on individual projects. And here I see that there are a lot of talks about probably him participating in another like like him being part of a group, like a group, like because this is teamwork. And I don't think that it's about the Stray Kids because we are talking about Lino here. I think that he does have a lot of projects. He's been requested and he's getting invitations and he's getting like a lot of like projects where people want him to be part on. So he's like thinking like, okay, he's like arranging the parts of like, okay, when is it going to be, how much is it going to take, like, how much he's going to get paid, if he's getting paid, so he's thinking about work right now. He's very work orientated and he's very requested. Lino is very popular right now, like this year, and I said it for him. This year is going to be very productive for Lino individual activities. Like his popularity is rising very consistently, so he is much more than just an Stray Kids member. He is like considered to participate of a lot of shows, so yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great for him. Mm-hmm. Yes, and I think that when I say individual projects, I mean like opportunities for him, not the group, for him to be part of other group, like other projects where there are other people involved. It could be like a part of a show where there are a lot of hosts and he's one of them, something like that. But a lot of people wanting to work with Lino, so he's mm, yes, he needs to rest because he's going to get back to work really soon. This year is going to be very like, when it comes to his profession and his profession like growth and development, he's going to grow a lot because he's actually like he's like getting his own like sort of brand reputation. I don't know, but individually. Then someone asked me Omega X. I'm going to pull a card for Omega X. Omega X. Actually, yeah, I don't think actually that someone I believe mentioned that they are having problem with their company. I don't see it actually. Actually, I see them like really like pulling like resources and concentrating on their artistic side. So I don't know much about like them actually being into trouble because or having like some issues because I see them like very emotionally invested. Probably they're going to have a lot of opportunities to show themselves and they actually want to connect with their fans. They're very emotional guys, so there's something about them being like, okay, we have to give our best to the fans or to the people that are waiting for us. So I don't see them like actually being in a position of despair or feeling uncomfortable. Actually, they are like managing their emotions and expectations really well with this queen of cups. And actually, this Queen of Cups could also represent a female figure or someone that is a sort of motherly figure that can come out, to help them, to assist them, to guide them, to comfort them if they go through some kind of challenges. This lady, this female energy could represent someone very emotional and very very important for them, like a mother figure. It could be someone's mother as well that is going to step out and be like, okay guys, like I'm sure I'm giving you support here, like let's do this, like let's talk about this, let's find a way to be a bit more comfortable with what we are going through. So I don't see them like being alone or being like in desperation or in confusion. They have someone that trusts them. So probably they do have someone there in the company that actually is a great support system for them, especially an emotional one. I think that this could be like someone's mother or someone that acts like a mother figure. So probably if they have a sort of like moments of not knowing what to do, actually this female here is going to be very important for them. She's going to help them like calm down and see the possibilities and actually like focus on what they have available instead of thinking like, oh, we don't have this or we are lacking on this, you know. So this is great. This could be a staff member. Is Willian or any ATEEZ member popular among girls in K-pop? What do you mean by that? I do have to do an ATEEZ update, Ilal. This week I'm going to do it for ATEEZ. I'm sorry, my face is scratchy. I'm going to do this week. I'm going to post it on my channel. How does NCT 127 feel about their comeback? Queen of Swords. How do they feel about their comeback? I think that definitely there's no feelings. There are no feelings. You know, like I said, I tell you, maybe we should change, like, instead of how does they feel, what do they think? Because here there's a lot of thoughts. They probably they are not being guided by emotion. They actually are very opinionated. Actually, they have a lot of things to say, but since it's represented by the Queen of Swords, they also have a sort of, they are used to um, these sort of changes of plans and being a bit adaptable and flexible when it comes to new ideas coming and going. That the company expects of them to be like adaptable to certain new concepts, new ideas, something, you know, like we always tell you, something futuristic or something. And since they are represented by a queen, it means that they have the, you know, the years of experience to actually adapt to whatever concept is going to have for them. So they are somehow used to it. They probably have their opinions about this, you know, that they probably talk among themselves, you know, like, oh, I don't like this, or I'm bored of this, or, you know, very some controversial somehow opinions about, you know, about the comeback and the concepts. They probably have their opinions, but you will not hear about it because it's something that they talk among themselves. These are very smart guys. They know the business, so they will just give their best. They will give their best because they are this Queen of Swords. So they know what they deserve, you know, because also the Queen of Swords, it's all about fairness and being fair, you know, being equals. So probably they are like some opinions coming and going between them, you know, like, oh, I should get this, I should get more of this, like, I should do this, like, oh, it's time for me to get this, you know, like very like opinionated. I see a lot of opinions. But at the same time, there's this sort of like, not like, there's no discussion or drama. It's just that they are very smart people. They had been around for quite a while, so they have experience, and they accept whatever is going to come their way. But they also have this attitude, oh yeah, we know what we have to do. But probably they do get a more of saying into what's going on, with their careers nowadays. They are like, okay, you want this from us, you have to give me this, because the Queen of Swords, it's a very like powerful force. She's very like, she's very cutthroat. She's like, okay, yeah, you want this of me, great. Yeah, what's my part? Where's my part in this? Like, you want me this, you want me to do this, but like, what's hmm. I think she meant to say, is there an 80s member who is famous among girl groups? But yeah, I'm sure. I mean, they are handsome people, but I mean, I would have to get one card for each member to see which one is the most popular, because I don't have a card that is like, oh, this is Willian or this is San. Like, it's very like general. Maybe if she asks about a certain member, I can pull a card for him, but I'm not surprised they were not happy about Sticker Son. At least some of them expressed their opinion. Yes, there's a bit of like a bit of cockiness, in the sense of like, yeah, like, we know we have to do this, yes, it's our work, like, yeah, I know exactly what you want me to do, like, I will show up, I will do the work, but I also want you to know that I didn't enjoy this, I didn't like this, like, they are represented by the Queen of Swords. So definitely, out of all the groups that are under SM, probably NCT 127 is the one that has the strongest opinions, and I would say influence over some changes. Yeah. Could you pull one for Jae comeback? Okay. Seven of Pentacles. So yes, actually, is he coming? Is he having a comeback? Because I see him like working a lot, like um, like working on details. He probably is a very detail orientated person, so he's like, okay, like, I want this to be perfect, like, and he probably been like, okay, I have, you know I have this, but I still want this to be better, so I don't know, maybe like, we fix this, can I fix this, can I introduce this? He's very focused, he's very, very focused, he's putting all his work and his mind into this, and his effort, because I think that there's something about Chechung's energy that is very fresh. That it has something. He's a sort of like, he sort of considers himself like an amateur, in a sense that he's not an amateur, but I think that the Seven of Pentacles here represent this energy of like, I want to enjoy this process as if this was my first release, or as if this was like, you know, like the first the first thing that I would do. Like, I want to enjoy this, and like, experience this as if I was someone that just started. So this is very beautiful, actually, because it means that he doesn't take his popularity for granted. He knows he has to keep working. He knows that he has to keep working on himself. He's probably is very like someone that always tries to learn something new, or he learns from other people, or he asks a lot of questions about, the new trends, about, technology and stuff, because he wants to learn. He's like an endless uh, beginner, like sort of like apprentice. This is the apprentice card. So probably for him, to be able to release this, he's going to feel a bit nervous about it, and probably like not when he releases it, he's going to be like, oh, I wish I could have done more. But he's focusing on the details because he wants this to be very good, and he wants this to be like very well done. He doesn't want it to be like repetitive, or to be like, like a standard. He wants this to be the best, and he's working on this. He's very busy, very busy. Oh, maybe because she started the quest with Willian. Okay, to see if someone of a girl group is of all the girl groups are interested in Willian in particular. Okay, I'm going to pull a card. Page of Swords. Yeah, probably. There's a lot of like gossip, not gossip, actually, probably females talking a lot about William in particular, like probably wanting to contact him. Actually, this could actually mean that they have, some of them have his numbers, and they are thinking about messaging him, or actually they already talked to him through messages. So yeah, I see like a lot of females like having Wu Young in their mind, like actually being like, oh, having a lot of opinions about him, and actually wanting to reach out to him, like wanting to talk to him. So you know um I think that probably, if I have to see this card from how they see him, some girl group members or some females, like idols, female idols, what do they think about him? Probably they see him as someone very very communicative, someone very like easy to talk to, uh, but also someone that is a bit unattainable, in a sense that probably his energy, he tends to move around a lot, and not just physically. Probably his span of attention, or the way he communicates, it's very like, now I talk to you, now I don't talk to you. Like I see him like they see him like this very like curious energy, that probably is very, they like him, but they don't know how to approach him, because he's very good with words. If he gets messages, or if he talks to some of them, you are not sure if he's been friendly with you, like a friend, or like a polite, like, because he's very polite and he's very social. So you don't know. This reminds me a lot of Libra energy. Like, you don't know if he does it because he likes you personally, or if he's just being nice. So he's a mystery, definitely, for the females. Can you pull a card for Banchan and how he feels recently? He's recovering from his nose energy. What happened to his nose? I hope he doesn't get like a surgery on his nose, because I'm going to get mad if he gets a different nose. Like, I love Chan's nose. So Let's see about Chan. Oh, well, Chan, I why but did he get a nose surgery because of something medical or health related, or is a surgery? Banchan couldn't breathe because his nose canal. They basically had to open his nose up so he could breathe. Okay. But did he get a new nose? Because I had a friend who did something like that, but actually he got a nose job. So I mean, he fixed his breathing problem, but he also got a new nose, and I loved Banchan's nose. So I would be upset if he gets the typical standard nose that everyone has. But oh well, I'm a new one, so who cares what I think? Um, Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands. So Nine of Wands, I think that actually he feels a bit tired, you know. I think that Banchan is a bit tired, and probably if he went through a surgery or something like that, he probably feels a bit guilty if he has to stop for a bit to relax. So, you know, this guy is so hard on himself. Like, he's always thinking about others. You know, he's always, probably because he's a leader, you know. So he's like, oh, but what happens if I'm not there? Or what happens if this and that? And I think that he should actually relax, you know. I think he should relax because um he shouldn't feel like a burden to others, you know, and he does, you know, probably he feels very exhausted as well. So this sort of like he feels a bit like tired, yeah, a bit um like there's a lot of burdens on this guy, but he puts these burdens on himself. It's just that probably if he is resting, he's starting to feel like the exhaustion that he accumulated all these months ago now is finally like starting. He probably starts aging all over his body, you know, and he starts like feeling a bit tired or feeling a bit like the burden, you know, like, but it's the accumulation of all these months of hard work. So actually, he has to listen to his body and slow down because actually, like, he needs to acknowledge that he is not Superman, that he is not going to save everyone's day, that it's okay to take a few days off and that it's okay to rest. You know, he's someone that he's always worried about others. This is very Libra, very Libra. You know, he 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 tends to feel worse because he thinks like, oh, now that I'm like this, what the others are going to do. O sea, I'm sorry, I'm starting talking in Spanish. Um, like come on, guy, like it's your moment. Rest. And also that he needs to listen to his body. He always pushes his body to the limit in the sense that probably he does have a sort of, I don't know, back pain, or he has a pain somewhere, and he tries to act like he, you know, like he doesn't, like he's okay, and actually he's a bit tired, you know. And I think that probably this process of him having a surgery is going to also be a bit painful, in the sense that he needs to rest, because probably it's going to be like, it's not going to be, he's going to have days where it's painful and he's going to have better days. So, you know, he needs to be patient because actually this kind of surgery is somehow is going to be a bit like, you know, like painful. So he has to be patient. He has to like do what the doctor says and not think about others. Just think about recovery. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. It's just that probably I don't know why, but probably he's a bit like upset because he maybe thought that this was like an easy procedure, like he would get like oh, painkillers and like this, and oh, okay, okay, in 3 days I'm going to be good to go. No, probably it's going to take a bit more, and it's going to be uncomfortable, the recovery, a bit painful. So let's send him all good vibes to Banjam. Yes, exactly. Yes. Oh, that's great, more. That's great. I'm happy. I'm happy. It's just that probably he's not comfortable because of the whole process, recovery. Probably is not in a state that it's comfortable. He probably feels like he's hurting a lot, so he must be like, regretting some things. Samara's favorite. Oh, Samara's with Chan Ramsdeep. Oh, yeah, I'm pop a painkiller. I'm gonna be okay. Yes, he wants to be a hero, like a sort of superhuman kind of thing that where he just pops a pill, and I'm like, I'm okay. I'm ready to go to work. And no, guy, relax. Like, no, just stay still. Like, stay still. They used to be my bias. He's still running reckless. He's a Libra and I gotta defend my fellow Libras. Poor guy. Hmm. Can you pull a card for... I don't call him John Jungkook. John Jungkook. JK for the people. JK for the people. I'm going to pull a card for JK. Oh, what? Oh my God, why he has this card? Oh my, you wanted a card for JK? Look what he got. This is so sad. Like, why? Like, JK. But I'm going to pull another because this is so sad. Wait. Oh, my God. What's going on with JK? What happened to JK? Why did he... Where's my Leo sun? Like, his Leo sun is on reverse. 5 of Pentacles and the Sun in reverse. So probably JK is not getting what he wants and he's feeling a bit like, not like today. These cards are for today. He's feeling a bit like, like on the victim side, like in the sense of like, oh, like I'm not getting what I want. This is not what I expected. So probably he's a bit low in energy in the sense that probably he has like a sort of project that he was like, okay, I want this. But now it seems like the resources are restricted for him. And he's like, okay, this is not what I want. So if you're thinking about getting a JK solo, like we are all waiting for his mixtape, probably it's going to take a bit longer because he's not ready to release his material because he doesn't think it's good enough. And he also goes through mood changes when it comes to his creations. He has a sort of like a imposter syndrome, where he thinks like he doesn't have what it takes to release a successful material or project or mixtape. So because he compares himself a lot to others, and probably because he's a Virgo, so he has like very high standards of what is perfect. So he has to work on this. he has to work on this. He has to work on his self-esteem. He's somehow like thinking a lot about this, about his shining, or his ability to shine. In the sun is in reverse. So somehow for him these days has been like really hard for him to connect with his inner shining. With we all know him for being the golden magnet, because actually he is the center. He is the sun in the group. He is like, all the eyes are always on JK. But probably for him as an individual, sometimes he wonders if people would look at him if he wasn't famous. If people actually would like the regular JK. Like she mentioned, the John Jungkook. Like actually, the John Jungkook is the real guy, the guy behind JK. And he has this sort of very spiritual, sort of like, um wonders or questions about his existence and the meaning behind his existence. And he probably wants to write and to talk about this and to create something that can reflect that. So, that is not just all shining and all sun and all Leo sun. Sometimes he struggles with self-esteem, and it happens more frequently than actually what people think. This is not to say that he's not depressed, he's not in pain. He's always like thinking like, maybe people think like, oh, he is so perfect. And for him, he's not that perfect. For him, it's like he's not good enough. For him, it seems like he doesn't think that he has what it takes now. He probably is someone that he's like, okay, like I feel like I'm lacking in this, and I don't want to show that I'm lacking. So, I prefer to refrain myself until I find my true meaning, my true expression. He wants to find ways of expressing that side of himself. That is not for people to be like, oh, poor JK, he doesn't love himself enough. We should love him and set him good vibes. No, this is about his development as an individual, as the man behind the idol. Like I always tell you, probably JK and all the other idols, as individuals, as men, as regular guys, are actually boring, not so entertaining, childish, routinary, not so intelligent. I don't know. They have their issues just like we all do. And yes, we are not supposed to know that, because we have to root for the idol that we see on stage. But I think that JK actually wants to turn this sense of not loving himself, like it's not about loving himself, it's more like not thinking that he's not good enough. He wants to translate this into a very meaningful way of expression. He wants to include this in his album or in his mixtape. Like he wants to talk about this. He wants to talk about his perspective of that, even though a lot of people think that he's really famous, he's the most popular, and that he has everything, and that he's a millionaire, and that he's like he has like all the ladies behind him. That actually sometimes he feels like this. He feels like he's not good enough. So I believe that he's in the search within himself to find the right words to express this, to express that sometimes he feels like he's not good enough, and that's also a part of himself, and he wants to be honest and come out and talk about that. Not to release a happy, loving summer song about, oh, I'm happy, I love myself. No, but he doesn't want to. I think that he's trying to find the right words, because he doesn't want the fans to analyze too much the lyrics, in the sense that, oh, why did JK wrote this? Maybe he's going through some kind of depression. And no, actually, he's not coming. He's just like entering more into himself. He's like connecting more into his own individuality, and he's like, maybe compared to others, I'm not that perfect, and I think that he wants to talk about that, but he wants to find the right words to express it without people alarming about him. Yes, September 1st, exactly, our Virgo guy. Okay, guys, I'm going to pull this last card and I'm going to go because I have to feed my cats. They're hating me right now. They're looking at me like, we are hungry. Sungyu? Okay. You're welcome, Richa. Oh, Sungyu, he got the Hierophant in reverse. So I think that Sungyo actually is in a sort of rebellious phase, in the sense that you mentioned something about the fracture, but I think that there's something. What company is he from? Because there's something about him, like somehow like being in this rebellious where he doesn't want to follow the standard, like what is being requested out of him. He got the Hierophant in reverse, so there's something about not being so traditional or going against what is established already. So probably he's going through a sort of a crisis identity, something like that, where he's also reviewing his own beliefs or system of beliefs. So he's like, okay, yes, yes. I think that somehow he's like, he probably doesn't feel quite like part of that company if he is new in the company. Like, and there's something also about feeling like he doesn't belong. Like, there's something about like, it's not that he's being rebellious, but it's something like probably he's thinking that all these, like, what he's been asked to be or to behave like or to follow the guidelines of being an idol, he's like reviewing this. He's like, I don't want to follow any more guidelines, like, I'm tired. Like, he's also reviewing his own beliefs. Like, for example, I don't know, a few years back he thought that, oh, this is how things are supposed to go, and this is how life is supposed to go, and now he's like in this sense where he actually is reviewing these beliefs, and he probably is also changing his mind about what he believes in. And I don't know if he also was part of a religious, or his family is religious, or everyone around him is very orthodox. So he's like observing that, and he's like, maybe that's not for me. Like, I'm not sure if I want to keep following the same, I don't know, the same lectures, the same, like, everyone was doing or is doing, like, the same beliefs. He's having like he's thinking a lot about what he believes in, and what actually his whole life, what beliefs has he been incorporating that actually he doesn't believe in them anymore. He's a very deep guy, a very deep guy. And he knows that probably not following the guidelines is going to be a bit controversial, but I think that he needs this. He needs this. He feels like, okay, like, this is my moment, you know? So yes, guys. I think that he wants to do things differently. I don't know what that means, but I think that it's not just about being an idol. I think that it's about being part of the society, you know? Yes, yes, spirit. Actually, it's very different because you know that the Hierophant is the fifth major arcana, and actually it does represent Taurus energy. You know, the establishment, you know, the institution. But since it's like this, he's probably is conflicted about, you know, why, who am I, you know, and this is very this is a very deep card, and it's a card that is it sometimes for a lot of tarot readers. This the Hierophant. It's a card that it not all of them get right away the meaning of the Hierophant because it has to do what how you had been brought up and what lessons have institutions taught you or what have you learned, you know, about, you know, a school, church, family values, you know, a very established community where there's a leader or a figure that is like the one that imparts the guidelines, or oh, you should behave like this, you should do like this. And since this is in reverse, it's like him like actually like questioning like his beliefs, you know, like, oh, maybe I don't believe in all of this. So this is very personal actually. Maybe it's his own spiritual growth. Maybe he wants to go in, I don't know if he is a believer of a certain religion, and he wants to change religions. I don't know. Okay, guys, I'm going to go because I have been here for 2 hours already. So yes, this is all I have for this weekend. I have to keep enjoying my day off, my only day off, because it passes really, really fast. So thank you guys for being here. So I appreciate that you came here to see me, to chat, you know, to get like an update. I always have fun with you. I learn a lot also. So yes, during the week I will continue with the groups tarot readings. So yes, look forward to that. So thank you guys for being here. I see you during the week. Bye.